make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.
Hey everyone, this is Kenny coming at you again with another quick video of pretty much this video is going to be a photo collage of what I did to my 660 Raptor, how far I broke it down to get it to where it's at now. I'm not a professional by any means, but I do like to do DIY, do things myself and have fun with it. So long story short, I bought a 660 Raptor, not running, no spark. And it was pretty much all there. Had a couple parts missing, the seat, the exhaust, the headlights, front bumper, a couple things were just not working and not there. And then also coming in with my deal, I got them both for about 600 bucks, and there was a rolling chassis also, but it was pretty much, that was it. The wheels were dry rotted. The rims were bad, the carrier bearings were bad. It did have a sprocket on it, but the other side didn't. It looked like there had been a fire maybe in the front at some point because the gas tank was kind of melted. So long story short, I sold that for like 100 bucks and dropped the price of my machine down pretty much to $500 for it. I took the exhaust off of it and the radiator, I think. So with my machine, I got it. The big thing was there was no spark, which I ended up replacing a lot of components to just try to narrow it down. So first I replaced the the coil because the plug boot was all messed up. So I just went ahead and replaced the coil, didn't make anything. I changed the stator and the pickup, didn't change much. I put another starter relay in there, didn't do anything, and then finally I changed my CDI box and boom, I had spark. So the problem was my rectifier, I had two of those, actually one that came on the machine and one that came on the roller, and these both work and they're both completely functional. I did use a voltometer and I checked for continuity of every wire. So I took the wiring harness completely off, make sure every wire was connected and functional throughout the whole thing. So I didn't have to worry about any wires being broken because that was all good. When I finally got the spark and got everything rolling, I did post a couple videos online asking people for some advice because the noise, their engine had some noise. I'll try to post that right here, the noise. I didn't know what actually was causing this noise or causing the problem. So I thought it was my valves not being adjusted correctly. No matter how fine-tuned I adjusted the valves, it still had this noise. Some people online directed me towards it sounds like it's in the motor. So I went ahead and took the motor back out. And then I took the head and jug off, and my jug was all scratched up, all messed up. My piston was was in bad shape. When I did buy these machines, the motor was outside. It was all outside, and there was no spark plug in it. So when I drained the oil out the first time, there was oil, water, muck. I mean, it was just full up with stuff. And then there was some rust in there. So after I cleaned everything out, make sure all the bearings looked good, replaced what was bad in there, pretty much found a OEM jug offline and a replacement piston and rings. I got it all back running, and it sounds great compared to before. For the amount of riding I do, it's going to do amazing. It is super powerful, has a lot of power. I did also change the jets in it. I did one of the cheaper jet kits off of eBay to replace the jets, and that didn't seem to work so well because the jets that you replace them, changed them back to OEM. I have a K&N air filter and the FMF pipe on it, so it was spitting and sputtering and backfiring and stuff. So I put in the DynoJet jets that came with it when I bought it. I think it was a 146 and a 148. Got those all changed out. But anyways, that's enough of me rambling. Here goes the footage. As you see, here is the machine when I first purchased it. 660 Raptor 2003, pretty much all there, but it did not have any kind of spark or anything, so we was going to work on that. The next thing is the roller that I also came with it, part of the deal. $600 for both. I had the FMF exhaust and a couple of extra. Local caper is going over to my razor to see, and voila, it turns over. It works. That little clip was me seeing if it would turn over and now printing out paperwork to see how to get the spark. So I disassemble all the plastic, stand it up, pressure wash it, and start taking it apart. First day I get everything off of it down to pretty much just the rolling frame. And we go from there. Welded up the heel guard part, took the tires, taped them off, took them off the beads. The gold ones came from a YZF 450, but they fit. Everything is sanded and now primered with a 2-part filler primer. Quick little video of me showing the primer. Now it's time to shoot some color on everything. Everything is now turned black. I painted it with enamel for tractors, so it's pretty hard, pretty durable, no problems with it. Start to put it all back together. This is the axle back in with a new carrier bearing in, the rear end all painted, everything black, handlebars and the steering column placed back in. And as you've seen in there, there were the YZF 450 front shocks laying on the floor. We start to get the YZFs put in there. It took a little bit of trimming, a little bit of grinding to get those in, but now we have the chassis as a complete roller now, but all black. Put the new Nerf bars on, the heel guards and the front radiator placed back in, and now the engine has been placed back in now. So it's all pretty much reassembled, ready to be turned over to see what we can do with it, okay? Headlights in, everything's on. Put the exhaust on, put new clutch levers, and just pretty much reassembled everything to make sure it'll work. Here are some tabs that I welded because the back tabs that hold the OEM plastic had broke off. So I welded some brackets, drilled a couple holes in the plastic to put push pins in, painted those black so they don't rust, and they work absolutely phenomenal. The next part, I am going to be working on this big crack here that I had in the plastic. Big crack was broken all the way through when I got it, so I welded the crack shut with a plastic welder. Sanded it, put some fiberglass material over top of it, body filler, sanded it extra smooth. Make sure I had it all lined up with those pre-drilled brackets that I made. Hit it with epoxy primer, which held well. Wet sanded the epoxy primer. I think I hit it with 2 coats of epoxy. Coated every part, as you would see right here. Rear fenders, and now I think we're going to start squirting some base coat on. So the base coat is the Ford silver. I'm wanting to say it's like a, I'm not really 100% sure of the number, but it's a metallic silver. Looks really good on the machine. Fits well. Got everything put 3 coats of primer and 3 coats of 2K clear on it, which is the automotive primer. So it is actually coated like the front bumper of a car. Disassembled the motor, actually replaced the head, and made sure everything looked good. Put the skid plates underneath, and now we have a complete bike. There we go. Here it is running. Officially complete. Thanks again, guys. Got it all back together. There's a quick before, and then there's a quick after. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, everyone.
This is the end.